Yo, what's up guys? I'm Jake from the Producer School and this is Voyage, our brand new melodic techno and house producer pack that sets a new standard in melodic techno productions. At the moment, melodic techno is bigger than ever, with artists such as Anyma, Argy, Adriatic and many more pushing the boundaries of this style in new directions. Our previous melodic techno and house packs have been proven to work and have been used on tracks that were released on big labels such as Afterlife, Habitat or Siamese. So if you're looking for fresh sounds, deep and driving bass lines, atmospheric synths, punchy drums and so much more, then this is the right pack for you. Voyage contains over 110 presets for Serum, a sample pack including all the essentials such as drums, loop, effects, atmospheres and more. 3 unique project files for FL Studio, Ableton Live and Logic Pro that you can use to learn from, get inspiration from and see how a real melodic techno track is built. Voyage also contains a vocal pack with hooks, reverse vocals and vocal atmospheres, and there are bass and synth loops that have the MIDI included as well. If you want to support the pack or find more information about it as well as some more previews, then use the link in the description or click the link over here and that goes to our website theproducerschool.com. Let's now check out a snippet of the 3 project files that are included in Voyage. Voyage contains over 110 presets that are made for Serum. Here is the full list of the presets. So we got basses, leads, a bunch of pads, plugs, bass steps and synths. And I'm picking some of my favorite presets of the pack to show to you guys. The first bass I'm going to show you is called Argy. It's a pretty simple bass in terms of sound design, but it works really well for rolling bass lines, as the description says over here. It sounds like this. just a simple saw bass. But if you play it with a pattern like this and some sidechain, you instantly get that modern melodic techno bass line. The random phase of both oscillators is set to 0, and in this way, every time a new note hits, it has the same start position, so you can create a very clean mix with it and sidechain it with your kick properly. Bass breathing. For all of our presets, we also include macros, so you can change up the sound a little bit. For instance, you can filter it down, or you can add some punch, or make it sustained. Bass chase also works well for rolling bass lines. It's a little bit wider, so I would suggest to use this as a kind of top or mid bass and remove some of the low frequencies. You can do that either with an EQ or use macro 4, which has top only, and that removes the low end. So then you can have a different sub underneath it to fill out the low end. Bass floors. Bass Godfather is a really fat sustained bass line. You can also use the mod wheel to open up the cutoff. Bass Incredible. Bass Rights was inspired by a Jimmy Jules track called Human Rights that was released on Inner Visions. And it sounds like this. So if you're looking for a really warm, saturated and sustained bass line, then this one is perfect for you. Bass Suspect is a great rhythmic top bass that you can hear in tracks from artists like Argy, and it sounds like this. Add some OTT with Macro 3. Makes it a little bit more like punchy. Bass Tape. There are 10 bass steps included in the presets, as you can hear a lot of bass steps in the modern melodic techno sound. This first one I'm going to show you is called Burning, and is this really Anyma inspired step. And you can open up the cutoff with the mod wheel or a macro. Step Exit. You can also increase the frequency modulation with macro 2. You can get a really aggressive step sound from it. Step Terror is a very aggressive one. And then Step Vortex. Let's check out some leads. Lead Attract was inspired by a lead sound that was used in an upcoming Argy and Adriatic collab. Lead Dream is very atmospheric. Lead Elements is really cool if you combine it with a pitch bend modulation like this. Lead Empire is this big super saw lead that you can hear in a lot of these modern big room melodic tracks. It's all going a little bit more to the trance side of music, and this is how this preset sounds. Lead Explorer has this LFO and pitch modulation and can be really cool to use as a kind of fill lead. If you don't want the pitch modulation, you can use Macro 3 and just turn it off. Lead Generate is another super saw lead. Lead Genesis was heavily inspired by the sounds of Anyma. Let's make it more plucky with Macro 2. It'd also be cool to like automate that. Lead Masterminds. Here are some pads. This one is really cool and it's called Art. Pad Away was inspired by the sounds of the Italian duo Mine Against. Pad Freedom. Plug Calibrate. This one is really cool to use in a similar way that they use these kind of plugs in Afro House. So just stay on the root note of the track and have like this repeating rhythm. And then modulate parameters like the release with Macro 2. Or open up the cutoff to really build it up and add some interesting modulations to the sound. Plug Denial works really well for arpeggios. Plug Greed has this really interesting modulation on the fine tune of the oscillators, so you get this really lush plug. plug moment works well as a top plug, and it's also nice to play chords with this one. To wrap it up, let's check out some synths. This one is called Asa and was inspired by the track Asa from Am, and it sounds like this. Very nice to play like chord steps with it. Synth Citizen. Synth Flexibility. This is Synth Habitat. It works well with those really fast arpeggiated notes, which is easier to just draw in with a MIDI. You can get this really stuttery chord effect. Synth Move. And then the last synth I'm going to show you is called Spacey, and this one worked really well if you use the root note of your track and then add a perfect fifth on top of it and create like a repetitive pattern with it. Let's go over the sample pack now. First of all, there are loops which are separated into bass and synth loops, and all of these loops have the MIDI included as well. And some synth loops. Inside the sample pack you will find bass shots like these ones. Drum loops which are separated into head loops like these. Percussion loops. Shaker loops. And top loops. Then for the drums we got all the essentials like claps, close heads, kicks, open heads, percussion sounds, snares, and toms. A bunch of drum fills which include longer ones and shorter ones. In the effects folder, you will find ambient sounds, which are nice to layer underneath your tracks. Some extra texture. Atmospheres, which are like drone sounds. Downlifters. Impacts. Risers. Short sweeps. And uplifters. And then quite some synth shots. Voyage also includes a vocal pack which has reverse vocals, vocal atmospheres and vocal hooks and spoken words in it. Let me show you a few of the vocal atmospheres first. They're really cool to create a big ambience in your track. And here are some short hooks and spoken words.
Imagine a different reality.
We're all fading away.
Hold me alive.
Open your eyes.
And for these hooks, we also include the dry stems. So if you want to add your own effects on it, then you can do that with the dry stem. And that's it for this overview video of Voyage. If you want the support pack, then use the link in the description. And we're really curious to see where the sounds of this pack will end up, because some of the sounds from our other melodic packs have been used by big artists such as Camel Fat, Cassian, Dyson, and releases on the biggest labels there are. So that's always amazing to see. If you have any questions about this pack, then feel free to drop a comment and we will try to get back to you on there. And for now, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.